Hey folks, I'm gonna have to change that camera angle. Just give me a second. Oh yeah, and before I forget to act like an asshole. Yeah, that's right, I did it. It's all for you, Sass. Anyway. Oh yeah, and I have to turn off that heater. Just a second. That thing is loud. We'll move it about there. That's comfortable. Have to light that again. Okay, quiet you. So as you can tell, it's gotten significantly colder here in Newfoundland. To the point that I have to heat my shed while I'm working. And I've had to actually double up the hoodies. And managed to flick a bit of sawdust in my eye while I was doing that. Lovely. How much fun. Anyway, we'll keep that closed until that works itself out. Here's a safety tip for you woodworkers and people who occasionally get things in your eyes. If you get something in your eye, and yeah, I know, you've heard this your whole life. Don't rub it. Don't rub it. Don't fucking rub it. I've seen some horrible injuries. I used to work security in a hospital. I've seen absolutely horrendous injuries. Terrible injuries. Okay. Normally I'd keep that closed until it teared up and it ran out, but okay, there we go. It ended up in the eyelashes. But, yeah, do not, for the love of God, rub at your eye when you get something in there. You have no idea how much a scratch on your fucking cornea sucks. Also, if you're welding, wear your fucking goggles. Okay, so the PSA out of the way. I was having a conversation with my girlfriend a little while ago. No, I'm not flexing. And I pointed out to her that I was kind of at a loss for what I was going to do for Thinking Man's Thursday this week. And she suggested that I should do something about relationships and starting a relationship. And I didn't really feel like it was something that I have a great handle on, because I've had a few relationships and they haven't worked out well, hence starting a new one. But in the middle of, and she's had a few that didn't work out. And in the conversation, the idea came up that she had actually said that when she started our relationship, she went in with the mindset that I'm going to make this good and I'm going to do what I can in this relationship. Now, that's a good attitude to have, that you're going to do what you can. However, when you start a relationship, you should never go into it with the idea that you're going to make it good. That means you're going to make a good relationship out of it, regardless of what kind of relationship you end up in. That's not at all the way it should be. I have to pause for a moment, turn on the light. Sorry, it went and clouded over while I was talking. But you should never go into a relationship with the idea that you're going to make it good. When you start a relationship, and this is how I started my current relationship, I went in with the attitude of, okay, I'm talking to this person. I'm going to find out if they're good for me and if I can be good for them. That's how you want to start a relationship. You don't want to start it in a bar. Gods, guys, seriously, do not go to a bar to pick up women. Go do something you're interested in. Okay, now, to be fair, if you happen to be interested in DJing and you meet a female DJ at a bar, okay, yeah, but it's the shared interest that matters. With me and my girlfriend, we got lucky because it was a dating site. I won't say what the name of the dating site was because they're all trash, by and large. But I had been alone for roughly 5 years, give or take. And finally got tired of being alone. Got tired of being lonely. And took a flyer. And landed a good one. But when I was talking to women on this site, I never started off with, do not ever send a dick pic. Never. Don't do that. That's low class. It's fucking barbaric, and you should be ashamed of yourself if you've ever done it. Regardless of the fact that your cock could now be in Indonesia somewhere being modeled for a tattoo, or in Thailand being modeled for a new penis for some ladyboy. I don't care. But, and I have that backwards, ladyboys already have their own penises. Anyway, the point is, don't go starting a relationship focused entirely on sex. If you just want sex, then you go to the bar. You find some drag off that you just want to take home, bang the hell out of, and put in a taxi. That's fine. If it's consensual, by all means, protect yourself as much as you can from various things. But if you're starting a relationship, go at it from the perspective that you want something good for you and you want to be something good for them. And if neither of those get answered with, yeah, I can do that, or yeah, it is, it's not the relationship for you. More fish in the sea. I have had a lot of friends who have started relationships, and I've been this guy as well, who've started relationships in intense sexual ways. And while that can work, it's very rare. Your best bet is to find a woman who actually shares at least one of your interests. And in the case of me and my girlfriend, my tagline on the dating site I had been on was, I want to slay dragons and quote Shakespeare to you. And it was those two words, quote Shakespeare, that caught my girlfriend's attention because she likes Shakespeare. And of course, now the sun comes back out, half blinding me. But if you're getting into a relationship and you're not doing it for, or at least with the attitude that you're going in to build a relationship for two people, or in the case of a single mother, more than two, or, you may be in the case, one of my exes was taking care of her grandmother, had her grandmother living with her. Still three people. But if you go into a relationship with anything other than the attitude of, is this going to be good for me? Is it going to be good for them? Then you've made a mistake. If all you're doing when you go into a relationship is thinking, I just want sex, you don't want to be in a relationship. If you're lucky enough to be in a place where prostitution is legal, go bang some whore. If you're in a place where there's a lot of bars, go bang some whore. And yeah, I know there are guys out there who are thinking, well, I don't really have much to offer a woman. Depending on the woman, that won't matter. Okay, a good woman can make you be a good man. And if you want to be a good man anyway, that will help you find a good woman. And that's where I was. I was at the point of looking at myself and finally going, I think I'm worthy. I think I'm back to the point of being able to look at myself in the mirror and go, I deserve somebody. And once I had that, that gave me the confidence to actually know when you know your own worth, your own value, that is super empowering for a man. It's empowering for a woman as well, I'm sure. But I talk to men. And if you can't go into a relationship knowing that you have things to offer and knowing what you want from the relationship and seeing that in your potential partner, then you have no business being in the relationship. There's a beautiful song from the Don Juan DeMarco soundtrack, which is a good movie to watch, by the way, especially with a date. The song basically goes, The song is called Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman? And one of the lyrics of the song is, when you can see your unborn children in her eyes. The idea there being that if you can't see the future that you could have with this person, at least somewhat have some sort of idea of what the relationship will entail, of if you can't see the benefit you will be and that they will be in each other's lives, then there's no point being in the relationship. And when I say relationship, I mean you're building towards marriage. I don't mean friends with benefits. Friends with benefits is fine because it still gets you actual sex as opposed to, masturbation from OnlyFans or whatever Coomer website you kids are into these days. Sorry, I give you a hard time. That's because I love you. But that's really the point I'm going to bang on about. If you can't see yourself being a benefit to them and them being a benefit to you, you have no business whatsoever being in that relationship because you're not in a relationship. You're either just getting tail or you're being used or you're being the user or potentially both. So yeah, when you start a relationship, start it with the idea that I want to know early on where I expect this to go. There's nothing wrong with setting expectations, with having expectations, both of yourself and of your potential partner. Society will try and tell you these days, modern society will try to tell you that you should treat each other as people. That's true. However, people are interdependent. If you're not getting anything out of the relationship, if they're not getting anything out of the relationship, you shouldn't be in the relationship. And guys, here's the thing. If we're not contributing, we don't feel like men. If we're not doing something for our ladies, we don't feel like men. That's it. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you continue to have good days and rise again until lambs become lions. Bye-bye.